Welcome. My name is Brooks Doherty. I'm the Assistant Vice President of Academic Innovation at Rasmussen College, and I will be serving as your Master of Ceremonies for this event. Before we begin, we present our national anthem. I want to welcome you today to this historic event. Across the world, COVID-19 has forced more than 1 billion students out of school. For the hundreds of thousands of graduates like you, the sad realization that your in-person graduation had to be canceled is certainly disheartening. We at Rasmussen College truly understand how important this day is. The ceremony will serve as a celebration, bringing together Rasmussen College graduates, their family, their friends, along with faculty and staff to honor you, the graduating class of 2020. The ceremony will feature a personal address from our interim president of Rasmussen College, Dr. Ann Leah. There will be a student speaker to address you from your campus, the opportunity to celebrate graduates in a virtual procession, and the conferring of degrees, followed by the turning of the tassels. It will be a truly unprecedented and exciting graduation experience. On behalf of the entire faculty, staff, and college leadership, we would like to thank each of you for joining us today. Once again, I am proud to welcome you to the 2020 Rasmussen College Commencement Ceremony. This event serves as the culmination of the hard work and effort each graduate put into their degree at Rasmussen College. The community has come together to celebrate each graduate's impressive accomplishments and the bright future ahead. Without question, these graduates will be a permanent part of our school's history and join over 100,000 Rasmussen College graduates across our 120 years of excellence. For some graduates, this is your first time attending college. For others, they set out to complete what they had started long ago but had yet to finish. And for many of our master's students, this has been a personal goal for many, many years. Many overcame significant obstacles. They had to balance responsibilities at home with their family, expectations at work. Yet, you found a way to succeed. By being part of this celebration today, you set the example through hard work, determination, and your support system that anyone can achieve their goals. At Rasmussen College, we understand that without the love and support of our graduates, family, and friends, their journey may not have been realized. Graduates, we hope that you take a moment today to recognize and thank those who have supported you across your educational journey. As a college, we are especially honored to support many active military members and veterans as they work toward their educational and career goals. We would like to thank all of our graduates who are members of the military or veterans for their service to our country. Thank you. And finally, our faculty at Rasmussen College. These individuals are responsible for educating and changing lives every day, rain or shine. They take the success of our graduates as their personal responsibility, and I am privileged to work with them every single day. Thank you to the faculty of Rasmussen College. Now, I would like to introduce the keynote speaker for this event, Interim President at Rasmussen College, Dr. Ann Leah. Dr. Leah joined Rasmussen in 2015 and has been responsible for the overall strategy and vision of academic affairs during her time at the college. Her work has included oversight of teaching and learning, curriculum and programs, assessment and evaluation, and academic services and operations. Under her leadership, a systematic process for assessing student learning and program quality was introduced, and competency-based education was expanded. She has built a strong, innovative leadership team in academic affairs. Please welcome Dr. Ann Leah.
Good evening. I am thrilled to be with you in this virtual environment to celebrate your academic accomplishments. On behalf of the college, I want to congratulate all of our 2020 Rasmussen graduates. Graduates, you should be proud of the impressive work you have done to get here. You have chosen to dedicate yourselves to your studies, to earn a degree, and to take the next step in your lives. While we celebrate, we find ourselves in an unprecedented time. When you started your educational journey here at Rasmussen, how many of you thought you'd be living in a world where wearing masks in public was the norm, as well as needed for the common good? How many of you thought social distancing would be a way of life and your college experience would culminate in a virtual graduation? But that is where we find ourselves in the times of a pandemic. This is the world you are graduating into. It is hard to say how long we will find ourselves in this new world, and it is not just COVID-19 that is shaping our lives. The internet surrounds us daily with endless information and misinformation, at times breeding uncertainty. And technological advancements are transforming nearly every profession, forcing all of us to adapt. That being said, I am confident you are better prepared to thrive in this world and whatever the future holds because of the education you received at Rasmussen College. Why am I so certain? What comes to mind most are the transferable skills you learned throughout your studies here. The critical thinking and information literacy skills you learned will help you separate fact from fiction. The digital fluency skills you cultivated will help you adapt to technology-enabled professions. And the communication and teamwork skills you mastered will help you succeed in workplaces and communities that are becoming increasingly diverse and where the need for ethics and professional responsibility are as important as ever. Your education at Rasmussen cultivated all of those skills, on top of the essential knowledge and abilities you learned in your chosen careers. We do not know what the future will bring. However, we can prepare ourselves for whatever comes our way. Likely, our expectations will be challenged, as they have been with COVID-19, and we will need to make decisions about circumstances we have not planned for. Yet in those circumstances, when we search deep inside ourselves, we can find the courage and strength to move forward. Getting to the graduation finish line, obtaining your Rasmussen degree, is evidence to me that you are better prepared for whatever comes your way in the future. You have shown resilience, courage, and grit, all of which are needed to manage uncertainty. And I have no doubt that your achievements, which show your tenacity and perseverance, will allow you to both survive and thrive in 2020 and beyond. So how is success defined in 2020? As a student, you most likely discovered that you learn more when you're asked to perform a difficult task and need to spend time figuring out how to do it, versus when the answer is easy. I know many of your courses have been challenging, and sometimes you have had to work harder than you would have liked to solve a problem and satisfy requirements. I also know that your actions and your hard work have probably not always led to a positive result. Yet it is in that struggle and in making mistakes that you grow and move forward. My first degree was in nursing, and I'm a registered nurse, which I'm very proud of. Earlier in my career, I spent a number of years in the hospice setting. My work with dying patients and families taught me that one doesn't always know what's coming next or how much time we have left to contribute. However, for as long as we are here, we do not and we cannot stop living. And in that way, I learned the importance of living in the present. My grandmother was a big influence in my life. She lived 88 years, most of her later years in a small apartment. She took care of herself and navigated with a walker, and she loved to hear from her family. Yet between 2 and 3 p.m. on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we all knew not to interrupt her. It was at those times, beginning when she was 85 years of age, that she began learning German by watching the public broadcasting station on TV. It did take me a while to understand how learning German was more important to her than my phone call. Yet it was. When I asked her about it, she said to me, "Anne, it is important to never give up on learning. You always want to know something new, and having the opportunity to learn is what makes this world so wonderful. and it is what keeps us older adults vital and significant. I never forgot that message. As I think about that 2 to 3 o'clock time frame and what that meant to her, it was beyond just a time of day. It was a special moment for her that symbolized growth of being alive, of continuing to better herself no matter what her age or time left. I have taken this lesson with me throughout life and discovered that to me symbols are very important. They help me to create linkages between various experiences. They help me live in the present with an eye on who I am and what I value. One symbol that is important to me is a gift I received from my coworkers when I left my very first nursing job. It's always difficult to leave a workplace, and this one was especially hard because I was moving out of town, I was relocating, and I wouldn't see my colleagues again. The gift they gave me was a Norman Rockwell plate that shows a young woman sitting on a bench in a train station. She has 2 suitcases with her and is dressed for travel. Her eyes are staring off into the distance, and she looks like she is anticipating what is to come. I quickly saw myself in this plate and have always loved it. To me, it symbolizes the need for growth and change and the importance of looking to the future. This plate has such a strong meaning for me that I have taken it to each office throughout my career, and it is currently on my bookshelf in my Twin Cities office in Minneapolis. Symbols can be important reminders of our worlds and truly do connect the past with the present. If you haven't used symbols in the past, I encourage you to try. Seriously, close your eyes for a moment. Think about what you have accomplished here to graduate with your degree. What comes to mind? What symbolizes your success? Is it an object, a place, a person? Or is it a time of day like it was for my grandma? Whatever that symbol might be, carry it with you. Let it be a compass for future success. Let it be a reminder to never stop your own personal growth and learning journey. And I will end with this final question. Have you ever had a moment where you paused in the middle of an action and asked yourself, how did I get here? This is not a simple question to answer. And when it happens to me, I ponder the answer for a long time, searching to be enlightened about my purpose. You are very different than when you started your educational journey at the college. I'm sure that getting to where you are now is a testament to your determination, your patience, drive, and confidence in yourself. You are such a special class, and you are graduating at a very unique time in this nation's history. How did you get here? Only you can answer that. But I know your work has paved the way for others, and wherever you are going, you have the ability to shape the world that we live in if you trust yourself and are not afraid to take calculated risks. What you need in your heart is to find your passion, and it's worth the time and effort to find that passion, and with your degree now in hand, the work that you are intended to do in the future. There are good things ahead. Congratulations, graduates.
Thank you, Dr. Leah, for those inspiring words. And now, a student speaker from your campus will share a message before our graduation procession.
Know your self-worth. Jacqueline Jennings Kennedy. Kobe Bryant once said, everything negative, pressure, challenges is all an opportunity for me to rise. If you fall behind, run faster. Never give up, never surrender, and revolt against the odds. Going back to college is full of changes and challenges. We all have stories, but the class of 2020 has made history. I am honored to have the opportunity to share with all of you my own story. I know firsthand that changes and challenges in life can be scary. I have had the pleasure experience in the difficulty that comes with raising 6 children by myself. I went back to school to get my GED, even after someone told me I couldn't do it. I told them, watch me smoke. After proving them wrong, In earning my GED, I decided to go to college on a scholarship, but unfortunately, I had to stop in order to continue to work more in order to support my children. Then I find myself, after 27 years, needing to move back home in order to be the caregiver for my father. It was during this time that my child was murdered. And only 1 month after the murder of my son, our family home caught on fire, and we were forced to rebuild. If these heartbreaks were not enough for one person to endure, my story became more compounded when I was diagnosed with COPD, and then I laid my father to rest. It was then that I found Rasmussen College, and I knew that I needed to follow Kobe Bryant's wise words. I chose never to give up, nor would I surrender. I saw it was an opportunity for me to rise up in spite of all of the pressures and challenges surrounding me. I found that going back to school again for my college degree brought me the comfort and the peace of mind that I had been missing. Here, I was 29 years out of school and working to get my associate degree. Amanda Muswowski, my advisor, and Adam Farm, the campus director, came along with me for the ride. And they were both there for me through my ups and downs. I cannot thank them enough. They uplifted me, encouraged me, and to continue my journey even when things got tough. Rasmussen College is not just a place to achieve your goal, but they are family with their hearts and soul. Rasmussen is home. I am living proof you can do all things when you put your mind to achieve your goals. Oh, and not only did I proudly graduate my paralegal associate's degree this past March, but I also graduated in 2018 with my medical billing and coding certificate. So as you go through life, never let your I can'ts turn into I cannot. Never let anyone tell you you cannot do. However, when you do encounter such a naysayer, simply smile at them with your gorgeous smile and respond back to them with 3 words: watch my smoke. And then go out there and achieve your goals, because this is your story. Thank you, Rasmussen College of 2020.
Graduates, now is the time the next phase in your life begins. As you see your name presented, reflect on your hard work and dedication over the past years that has led you to this success. Keep in mind this is not the end of your road, but the beginning. There may be more degrees in your future, and certainly there will be lifelong learning, inquiry, and exploration. Today's graduates will either be receiving a master's degree, a Bachelor of Science degree, an Associate of Science degree, a diploma, or a certificate. Congratulations once again to all the outstanding graduates. We are very proud of you.
Faiza Abudali, Certificate, Pharmacy Technician. Satira Adair, Certificate, Early Childhood Education. Desiree K. Adams, Certificate, Pharmacy Technician. Ashley Alejandro, Certificate, Early Childhood Education. Genesis L. Zamora, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Alexandria Armstrong, Certificate, Pharmacy Technician. Jennifer Babcock, Certificate, Medical Administrative Assistant. Kimberly Baker, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Adriana Banks, Certificate, Medical Administrative Assistant. Kelsey Barber, Certificate, Pharmacy Technician. Shakina G. Barnett, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Deetra Balcom, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Courtney Becht, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Brittany Becker, Certificate, Medical Administrative Assistant. Chantel Bierman, Certificate, Paralegal. Elise R. Billingsley, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Teresa M. Bittinger, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Tonette Blaylock, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Veronica Bossler, Certificate, Pharmacy Technician. Rachel Bowen, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Christy L. Brower, Certificate, Pharmacy Technician. Isis M. Brazelton, Certificate, Paralegal. Shaquille R. Riggs, Certificate, Pharmacy Technician. Alethea M. Bright, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Angel M. Brookshaw, Certificate, Medical Administrative Assistant. Cassandra D. Brooks Spears, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Sharice Brown, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Caitlin C. Bruce, Certificate, Pharmacy Technician. Shaquana Bryant, Certificate, Pharmacy Technician. Shayna Buckland, Certificate, Early Childhood Education. Shani Burns, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Nerese B. Carreño, Certificate, Pharmacy Technician. Marlana Carter, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Kimberly Cartwright, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Wanda R. Chapman, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Kenneth Chatham, Certificate, Business Management. Missy Christian, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Travis Christman, Certificate, Paralegal. Brianna Clark, Certificate, Medical Administrative Assistant. Brittany Clay, Certificate, Early Childhood Education. Ivada Cochran, Certificate, Pharmacy Technician. Evelyn Collins, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Carletta Comer, Certificate, Early Childhood Education. Audrey Cox, Certificate, Early Childhood Education. Jamie Cox, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Heather Crawford, Certificate, Medical Administrative Assistant. Brandy J. Crutchfield, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Samantha Quavas, Certificate, Medical Billing and Quoting. Patricia M. Coley, Certificate, Early Childhood Education. Christy Cummings, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Morgan D. Decker, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Tracy L. Denham, Certificate, Paralegal. Shannon Dymock, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Rebecca L. Donovan, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Brittany Dozier, Certificate, Early Childhood Education. Melissa K. Edwards, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Chanel Edwards, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Chandalyn Itina, Certificate, Pharmacy Technician. Jessica Fears, Certificate, Medical Administrative Assistant. Kirsten Ferreira, Certificate, Paralegal. Rita M. Becerra, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Lorna A. Fink, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Nina Ford, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Ticola Fortune, Certificate, Pharmacy Technician. Georgia France, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Brittany O. Golston, Certificate, Medical Administrative Assistant. Alicia N. Goings, Certificate, Early Childhood Education. Samantha M. Gonzalez, Certificate, Medical Administrative Assistant. Laura Grandstaff, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Lori Guesno, Certificate, Pharmacy Technician. Stacy Gwynn, Certificate, Paralegal. Ashante N. Hammonds, Certificate, Paralegal. Susan E. Hardy, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Sherry L. Harrelson, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Summer K. Hart, Certificate, Accounting. Lawanda Hawthorne, Certificate, Pharmacy Technician. Sataki Holcomb, Certificate, Pharmacy Technician. Navita House, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Catherine House, Certificate, Paralegal. Leandra S. Houston, Certificate, Paralegal. Randy Hubbs, Certificate, Pharmacy Technician. Tyrone S. Hudson, Certificate, Early Childhood Education. Ava Hunt, Certificate, Pharmacy Technician. Kayla R. Ingram, Certificate, Early Childhood Education. Jennifer Jenkins, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Rogel Jimenez, Certificate, Medical Administrative Assistant. Marnie Johnson, Certificate, Medical Administrative Assistant. Judy A. Johnson, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Samantha S. Jones, Certificate, Early Childhood Education. Cassandra Joseph, Certificate, Early Childhood Education. Ayana L. Justice, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Jada Keene, Certificate, Early Childhood Education. Amanda Kelly, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Catherine Kimball, Certificate, Paralegal. Aisha J. King, Certificate, Business. Michelle Lawson, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Denise L. Leak, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Karen Lee, Certificate, Early Childhood Education. Rodney A. Lee, Certificate, Medical Administrative Assistant. Jessica Long, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Sarah Mann, Certificate, Business. Rihanna N. Maples, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Joy Mariano Reyes, Certificate, Early Childhood Education. Donna Miracle, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Veronica Martin, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Tamara Martin, Certificate, Pharmacy Technician. Ada L. Martinez, Certificate, Accounting. Jessica N. Martinez, Certificate, Pharmacy Technician. Savannah McCaffrey, Certificate, Pharmacy Technician. Tawana McClure, Certificate, Medical Administrative Assistant. Tamara McCrae, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Sarah McGowan, Certificate, Early Childhood Education. Jasmine McKee, Certificate, Early Childhood Education. Shakira McLaurin, Certificate, Medical Administrative Assistant. Victoria McMullen, Certificate, Medical Administrative Assistant. Dianalis Mercado, Certificate, Pharmacy Technician. Kristen E. Miller, Certificate, Early Childhood Education. Shannon Miller, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Avis A. Miller, Certificate, Paralegal. Deanne C. Mitchell, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Melissa McCosness, Certificate, Pharmacy Technician. Elizabeth Molina, Certificate, Pharmacy Technician. Erica H. Monington, Certificate, Business Management. Michaela G. Montgomery, Certificate, Business Management. Chiquita Moore, Certificate, Early Childhood Education. Taylor Moore, Certificate, Medical Administrative Assistant. Takaya Moore, Certificate, Medical Administrative Assistant. Emily E. Mowgli, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Jackie K. Myers, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Erica L. Nettles, Certificate, Pharmacy Technician. Marcus Nettles, Certificate, Pharmacy Technician. Mary K. Wynn, Certificate, Early Childhood Education. Anime O. Nicholson, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Taylor Norman, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Andrea Olivares, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Amanda Olson, Certificate, Paralegal. Kaylee Outs, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Destiny Overby, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Destiny Parker, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Jerry Pena, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Heather Peters, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Kenyatta Peterson, Certificate, Pharmacy Technician. Rachel Pinion, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Kelly D. Posey, Certificate, Healthcare. Barbara Powers, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Sophia Polonis, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Madison V. Pritchard, Certificate, Early Childhood Education. Anna K. Prudhomme, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Tanika A. Regine, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Amanda Ratliff, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Kayla Reckert, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Bobby L. Retzlaff, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Catherine M. Reyes, Certificate, Early Childhood Education. Cassandra Reich, Certificate, Paralegal. Joanna Rivera, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Micah N. Robin, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Helen M. Rumsney, Certificate, Healthcare. Kalista L. Rushing, Certificate, Early Childhood Education. Sydney N. Scott, Certificate, Medical Administrative Assistant. Marilyn Scott, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Nicole Sears, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Denise M. Schultz, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Kristen N. Sylvia, Certificate, Pharmacy Technician. Anna F. Simmons, Certificate, Early Childhood Education. Christy M. Sloan, Certificate, Early Childhood Education. Yaquanda Smalls, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Katie Smith, Certificate, Medical Administrative Assistant. Kim L. Smith, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Alexis D. Smith Bassett, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Denise Spears, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Brittany S. Stegall, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Antoinette Stevens, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Maureen Stevenson, Certificate, Medical Administrative Assistant. Kayla Stewart, Certificate, Pharmacy Technician. Christine R. Stone, Certificate, Early Childhood Education. Lashonda Stovall, Certificate, Pharmacy Technician. Suzanne E. Swanson, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Melissa K. Tillelli, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Cassandra M. Tompkins, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Elizabeth Torres, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Skylar Travis, Certificate, Pharmacy Technician. Jessica N. Holsland, Certificate, Early Childhood Education. Janice M. Vasquez, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Nicole Velez, Certificate, Medical Administrative Assistant. Juvina R. Vera, Certificate, Early Childhood Education. Germania Veras, Certificate, Pharmacy Technician. Nicole Walker, Certificate, Early Childhood Education. Rachel K. Walsh, Certificate, Business. Desi Washington, Certificate, Early Childhood Education. Mindy M. Wheeler, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Caleb I. Williams, Certificate, Paralegal. Stevie Wilson, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Shelley M. Winkleman, Certificate, Pharmacy Technician. Ashley Whipper, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Kayla R. Woods, Certificate, Early Childhood Education. Kara A. Zanis, Certificate, Paralegal. Corey Booth, Diploma, Early Childhood Education with Honors. Catherine Shrewsbury, Diploma, Early Childhood Education with Honors. Sakina Abdu Shakur, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Jamaica Adams, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Aaron T. Andnello, Associate of Science, Paralegal. Angelica Alcala, Associate of Science, Criminal Justice. India N. Alexander, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Cipriano A. Alfaro, Associate of Science, Business Management. Liana M. Almeida Montiero, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Alexandra M. Alvarez, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Nadia Amoani, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Francine C. Anderson, Associate of Science, Human Resources and Organizational Leadership. Sarah Andrews, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Taisha Andrews, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Jennifer Annaville, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Maya Amor, Associate of Science, Software Application Development. Deborah Arrington, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Wendelin Aro, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Bridget Arvizo, Associate of Science, Business Management. Glenda Bacon, Associate of Science, Business Management. Raquel M. Bailey, Associate of Science, Marketing. Adriana Banks, Associate of Science, Healthcare. Shakina G. Barnett, Associate of Science, Human Services. Tanya L. Bass, Associate of Science, Health Sciences. Gabriella Bayong, Associate of Science, Paralegal. David Bouchamp, Associate of Science, Business Management. Matthew E. Beckman, Associate of Science, Business Management. Brianna Bell, Associate of Science, Accounting. Jacqueline E. Behrens, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Kylie Best, Associate of Science, Graphic Design. Nijar Bayan, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Tessica K. Bischoff, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Christina L. Black, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Rachel Blackburn, Associate of Science, Criminal Justice. Brittany Blanchette, Associate of Science, Paralegal. Sherry Blythe, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Alyssa M. Bohana, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Amy Bolenbach, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Maya D. Booker, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Catherine L. Botello, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Benita Branham, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Sabrina Brantley, Associate of Science, Business Management. Lori Broswell, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Sophia Brister, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Lori Brooks, Associate of Science, Business Management. Danielle Brown, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Samantha C. Brown, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Raina Brown, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Miriam Brown, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Nicole A. Brunker, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Melanie L. Bucci, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Kervin Bonafi, Associate of Science, Graphic Design. Tracy Burkhart, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Anisha A. Burks, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Jennifer Busey, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Bershana Byers, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Soundietta Calhoun, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Barbara A. Cameron, Associate of Science, Health Sciences. Rosalind Campbell, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Jeffrey Camparini, Associate of Science, Information Technology Management. Lindsay Cannon, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Charlotte R. Canty, Associate of Science, Human Resources and Organizational Leadership. Raymond A. Carnahan, Associate of Science, Software Application Development. Amy L. Carper, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Sherry L. Carroll, Associate of Science, Health Sciences. Chesney M. Carter, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Tricia Castleberry, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Rita Chakokli, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Michael C. Chappell, Associate of Science, Graphic Design. Kristen Chargualoff, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Sharonica Chapman, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Courtney Cheshire, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Angelica Clark, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Sarah Clark, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Jessica R. Clark, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Harriet M. Clayton, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Christina L. Kloss, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. David Cochran, Associate of Science, Graphic Design. Heather Cochran, Associate of Science, Paralegal. Charlene R. Coleman, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. John Coleman, Associate of Science, Information Technology Management. Lisa A. Conyers-Jackson, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Bria Cordon, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Danielle Kraft, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Lindsay Krieger, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Lillian Cruz, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Eddie Cruz, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Donald Cunningham, Associate of Science, Information Technology Management. Benedicta Curtis, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Sharon L. Davis, Associate of Science, Criminal Justice. Tamara Davis, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Jaleesa Davis, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Quiara L. Davis, Associate of Science, Paralegal. John D. Deckert, Associate of Science, Software Application Development. Denisha Deming, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Sonia Devane, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Mike W. Dobberton, Associate of Science, Software Application Development. June Dobbs, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Alyssa Donaldson, Associate of Science, Business Management. Patricia Dorsey, Associate of Science, Criminal Justice. Adam Dranham, Associate of Science, Software Application Development. Amber M. Drake, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Myra E. Driscoll, Associate of Science, Business Management. Kiana Dry, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Shania Duckett, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Kristen N. Dunkling, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Alexandra Duran, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Tanisha Ekabararia, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Johnny L. Edwards, Associate of Science, Accounting. Patrick H. Edwards, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Marie D. Insla, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Tamika Elder, Associate of Science, Healthcare. Rebecca Ellison, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Samantha E. Embry, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Beth A. Engel, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Holly H. Eisler, Associate of Science, Accounting. Leanne Esparza, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Paula L. Eubanks, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Valerie Evans, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Alexia Varinas, Associate of Science, Information Technology Management. Cassie J. Farnworth, Associate of Science, Paralegal. Lauren Featherstone, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Jody Lynn Vergerger, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Judith Theus, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Jacqueline E. Fitzgerald, Associate of Science, Health Sciences. Natalie Flores, Associate of Science, Criminal Justice. Alexandra Folger, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Alessandra C. Foos, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Jessica L. Forbes, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Cindy S. Fools, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Natasha Fountain, Associate of Science, Paralegal. Amy Frederick, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Kendall L. Frederick, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Desmond Fulton, Associate of Science, Marketing. Noel Funk, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Brandon L. Garcia, Associate of Science, Information Technology Management. Amy E. Gardner, Associate of Science, Business Management. Marta Gaziano, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Lessa Gersten, Associate of Science, Paralegal. Charmaine Gibson, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Kayla Gibson, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Gage S. Gibson, Associate of Science, Information Technology Management. Harold Geese III, Associate of Science, Information Technology Management. Melissa Gifford, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Jade Gilliam, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Dolores A. Gilmer, Associate of Science, Criminal Justice. Amy M. Gimbel, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Serena Godinez, Associate of Science, Healthcare. Heather L. Godwin, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Jessica Gomez, Associate of Science, Business Management. Christina Gonzalez, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Paula Gonzalez, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Daylene Gonzalez Rodriguez, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Ashley Gorby, Associate of Science, Paralegal. Jessica L. Gauge, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Jessamine Grace, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Brittany Grant, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Jamie Graves, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Sarah Gray, Associate of Science, Human Services. Kia Green, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Lauren Grieve, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Talea D. Grimes, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Kimberly Granovich, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Grace S. Guimera, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Geraldine Haas, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Tasha Hall, Associate of Science, Human Services. Brianna J. Hall, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Keith H. Hancock, Associate of Science, Accounting. Tiffany Harakel, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Desretta Harris, Associate of Science, Business Management. Nicole Harris, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Samantha E. Harris, Associate of Science, Paralegal. Melissa Hazadanarata, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Jerome P. Haynes, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Charity Hedden, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Kadriana Heichman, Associate of Science, Criminal Justice. Shanika Henderson, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Charlotte L. Hendricks, Associate of Science, Human Resources and Organizational Leadership. Angelia K. Henson, Associate of Science, Paralegal. David A. Harid Jr., Associate of Science, Paralegal. Agustina Hernandez, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Janine Hernandez, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Adam Herzog, Associate of Science, Business Management. Naomi L. Hicks, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Chiquita L. Hill, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Catherine W. Hosevar, Associate of Science, Business Management. Tyler Holland, Associate of Science, Graphic Design. Lori B. Hawley, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Shalay A. Holman, Associate of Science, Business Management. Kimberly M. Holmblad, Associate of Science, Human Services. Kristen Noel Habergassen, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Mackenzie J. Honold, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Richard Hooker, Associate of Science, Graphic Design. Lacey L. Horton, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Navita House, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Taylor A. Howard, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Robert J. Huckenstein, Associate of Science, Software Application Development. Abby J. Hudson, Associate of Science, Business Management. Luis J. Hughes, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Devin Hunt, Associate of Science, Criminal Justice. Ramika C. Ivy Jones, Associate of Science, Paralegal. Kim Jackson, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Shannon D. Jackson, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Estella Jameson, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Cami Jenkins, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Natalie Jennings, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Melissa Johnson, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Kathy J. Johnson, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Triana S. Johnson, Associate of Science, Human Services. Rebecca Johnson Freeman, Associate of Science, Paralegal. Cherise Jones, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Kelly O. Jones, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Aaliyah Jones, Associate of Science, Health Sciences. Courtney Jordan, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. John J. Jordan, Associate of Science, Human Resources and Organizational Leadership. Cassandra Joseph, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Rebecca Justice, Associate of Science, Business Management. Erica Keating, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Tamisha Keeling, Associate of Science, Healthcare. Katie L. Kelly, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. William C. Kennedy, Associate of Science, Graphic Design. Melisha Keys, Associate of Science, Graphic Design. Carnesia Kidd, Associate of Science, Paralegal. Aaron N. Kyle, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Mariah King, Associate of Science, Graphic Design. Lisa D. Kalaji, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Kayla S. Klazowski, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Angela Kwiatkowski, Associate of Science, Business Management. Julie A. Keimer, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Holly Labonta, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Kristen LaFrance, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Tessa Lamb, Associate of Science, Human Services. Adrian D. Lawson, Associate of Science, Business Management. Adrian D. Lawson, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Adrian Lawson, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Denise L. Leek, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Jennifer Lehman, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Chelsea M. Leister, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Tabitha Leverett, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Ashley Littlejohn, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Leanne Luberas, Associate of Science, Health Sciences. Vivian Lockhart, Associate of Science, Paralegal. Melissa Long, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Anna L. Lopez, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Justice Lotz, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Keely K. Lavelle, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Ryan Lutterman, Associate of Science, Information Technology Management. Michelle Madden, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Dia J. Madkins, Associate of Science, Information Technology Management. Danielle Marr, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Rhonda Manning, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Jonathan Marasco, Associate of Science, Information Technology Management. Magdalene Marinez, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Haley Martin, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Shanda Mason, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Donna M. Mason, Associate of Science, Graphic Design. Maya N. Matthews, Associate of Science, Graphic Design. Amanda R. Mavis, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Elizabeth McBride, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Brenda M. McConnell, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Christy K. McCullum, Associate of Science, Business Management. Jolinda McDonald, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Cynthia McElroy, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Crystal O. McKenzie, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Lorelei McNeil, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Emily Meeker, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Stacy Ann Meeks, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Jennifer Meimert, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Roxanne Mendez, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Holly Millette, Associate of Science, Accounting. Christina Mock, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Rebecca Modavis, Associate of Science, Accounting. Jane Modest, Associate of Science, Graphic Design. Timothy A. Moe, Associate of Science, Graphic Design. Karita A. Mohammed, Associate of Science, Health Information Technology. Alfredo L. Molina, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Kelsey Moneymaker, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Michaela G. Montgomery, Associate of Science, Business Management. Ronell Moore, Associate of Science, Criminal Justice. Robin Y. Morgan, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Tanika Morrow, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Catherine L. Mosley, Associate of Science, Paralegal. Alaya Muhammad, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Mia I. Muhammad, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Lavinia Muldrow, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Christine Mwamba, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Jackie K. Myers, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Nita Y. Najib, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Latasha Neal, Associate of Science, Human Services. Markida D. Nelson, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Jennifer L. Nelson, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Julie A. Nelson, Associate of Science, Human Resources and Organizational Leadership. Tony Nicholas, Associate of Science, Graphic Design. Teresa Nicholas, Associate of Science, Paralegal. Margaret Nixon, Associate of Science, Human Services. Stacy Noel, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Sheree Oliver, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Adekola B. Omoli, Associate of Science, Health Sciences. Diana M. Orr, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Cecily N. Orton, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Sabrina Osborne, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Rosa Otero, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Shauna R. Pace, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Samantha Parker, Associate of Science, Business Management. Audrey Parsons, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Taylor M. Pataska, Associate of Science, Human Services. Sarah R. Vitalik, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Danielle S. Patterson, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Joyce Pavlicek Patterson, Associate of Science, Human Resources and Organizational Leadership. Elizabeth E. Peden, Associate of Science, Paralegal. Sarai L. Perkins, Associate of Science, Health Information Technicians. Jante Perkins, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Eleanor L. Perry, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Jennifer Peters, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Antoinette Peterson, Associate of Science, Criminal Justice. Jill J. Peterson, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Alicia Petrus, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Colleen R. Pfeiffer, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Kelly Piccinetti, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Jessica Porter, Associate of Science, Human Resources and Organizational Leadership. Casey L. Pratt, Associate of Science, Business Management. Tricia Priest, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Jennifer Pritchard, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Latasha Rankins, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Mary Reinholtz, Associate of Science, Paralegal. Lydia V. Requenas, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Alyssa Rice, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Nadine Rice, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Lorelei Richards, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Olivia D. Richardson, Associate of Science, Human Resources and Organizational Leadership. Marisol Rivera, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Leroy A. Rivera Penga, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Brittany Roberts, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Melanie S. Robinson, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Twasha Robinson, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Jacob Robinson, Associate of Science, Graphic Design. Ashley Rodriguez, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Courtney A. Rogers, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. April Road, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Carrie Rose, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Jacqueline K. Rowland, Associate of Science, Graphic Design. Angela M. Rudolph, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Ciara Runge, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Jerry N. Russell, Associate of Science, Human Services. Asha L. Salad, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Danielle Sanabria, Associate of Science, Software Application Development. Leanne E. Sanders, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Brittany Sanders, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Destiny Santos, Associate of Science, Paralegal. Sherry D. Sapp, Associate of Science, Business Management. Abby Schaefer, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Jenna Shade, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Lynette Schlieb, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Dana Schultz, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Tracy L. Schumacher, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Nellie J. Schweikert, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Vanessa Skizzen, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Anastasia Scott, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Jennifer Scott, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Susan J. Scott, Associates of Science, Early Childhood Education. Kent Scott, Associate of Science, Graphic Design. LaDonna Scott, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Tantalea M. Searcy, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Kathleen E. Shea, Associate of Science, Information Technology Management. Christopher B. Sherman, Associate of Science, Business Management. Joshua R. Schopp, Associate of Science, Software Application Development. Marcia L. Signorini Falwell, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Jennifer Silva, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Matt Simpkins, Associate of Science, Information Technology Management. Mandy A. Skinner-Pounds, Associate of Science, Paralegal. Delaney T. Sleeper, Associate of Science, Graphic Design. Sarah Smedley, Associate of Science, Graphic Design. Angel Smith, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Kendall Smith, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Heather R. Smith, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Lashona J. Smith, Associate of Science, Health Sciences. Wayne M. Smith, Associate of Science, Human Resources and Organizational Leadership. Patrick P. Smith, Associate of Science, Information Technology Management. Ashley Snowgrass, Associate of Science, Criminal Justice. Dana Snyder, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Carly B. Sommerfeld, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Malishka Y. Soto Sanchez, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Christopher W. Spangler, Associate of Science, Human Resources and Organizational Leadership. Stacy M. Sperber, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Allison Sprague, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Jason M. Statz, Associate of Science, Human Services. Brooke Stahili, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Dakota Steinert, Associate of Science, Graphic Design. Ashley L. Stell, Associate of Science, Software Application Development. Alexis D. Stell, Associate of Science, Software Application Development. Kimberly A. Stemp, Associate of Science, Software Application Development. Gwendolyn M. Stepter, Associate of Science, Criminal Justice. Katrina Stewart, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Virginia Stewart, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Megan K. Stokes, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Faith E. Stowers, Associate of Science, Business Management. Amber Stratman, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Tisha Strong, Associate of Science, Paralegal. Sakaya Q. Streeter, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Tanisha Strigler, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Ashley Styra, Associate of Science, Business Management. Shakenda Suduth, Associate of Science, Health Sciences. Alicia C. Summers, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Mariah Sumowski, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Anthony Susana, Associate of Science, Information Technology Management. Lisa Tarpley, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Aaron Taylor, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Alicia A. Taylor, Associate of Science, Human Services. Tiffany Teeters, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Monique Thomas, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Mary Thomas, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Shanitris Thomas, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Jordan Tinch, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Aisha Tolliver, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Allison J. Toothman, Associate of Science, Accounting. Carissa M. Tracy, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Alicia Tran, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Amanda J. Tucker, Associate of Science, Human Resources and Organizational Leadership. Kristen Turner, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. David Udofia, Associate of Science, Information Technology Management. David Udofia, Associates of Science, Software Application Development. Trevor D. Uridi, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Kiera Valentine, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Shelby L. Belier, Associate of Science, Graphic Design. Brittany L. Van Doesburg, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Brecken E. Van Boxel, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Lisette Vargas, Associate of Science, Graphic Design. Peggy O. Vaughn, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Brianna L. Vaughn, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Sharon Vaughn, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Alex Vergara, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Ayman A. Voravi, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Princess Bissent, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Susanna C. Vikanovich, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Robert Vidal, Associate of Science, Business Management. Melinda Vagario, Associate of Science, Paralegal. Sky Virgil, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Heather Van Bargen, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Deidre M. Walker, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Gwendolyn J. Walker, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Markeisha T. Walker, Associate of Science, Human Services. Vanessa Wallace, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Wendy R. Wallaman, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Kirsten Waller, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Ashley Ann Walls, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Dylan M. Wagant, Associate of Science, Software Application Development. Tierra L. Webb, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Tiffany Webb, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Laura Whidden, Associate of Science, Health Sciences. James White, Associate of Science, Business Management. Courtney White, Associate of Science, Human Services. Charity A. White, Associate of Science, Paralegal. Ashley Whitley, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Rachel Whitman, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Tabitha Wachowski, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Declan Wilkins, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Ashley Williams, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Agnes Williams, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Irene Williams, Associate of Science, Graphic Design. Sean Williams, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Whitney Lynette Wilson, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Heather M. Wilson, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Amanda L. Wiltrout, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Casey Wine, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Jawan M. Winfield Sr., Associate of Science, Information Technology Management. Erica Withers, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Tiffany Wojcik, Associate of Science, Paralegal. Michelle Wolf, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Larry Walters, Associate of Science, Business Management. Mitchell L. Wood, Associate of Science, Information Technology Management. Tiffany E. Woodard, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Rebecca Wright, Associate of Science, Health Sciences. Sherry Wynn, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Joshua Yarbrough, Associate of Science, Graphic Design. Regina Ybarra, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Marilyn M. Young, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Jacqueline Yount, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Sanam Abrol, Bachelor of Science, Computer Science, summa cum laude. Muna H. Adam, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, cum laude. Charity S. Adams, Bachelor of Science, Health and Wellness, cum laude. Mandy C. Adams, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, magna cum laude. Tanaya Adewanumi, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Angela Augers, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership. Janelle Allen, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership. Sarah Allen, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Sabrina Alred, Bachelor of Science, Criminal Justice. Jason D. Amendola, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Lillian M. Aminga, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Katie Anderson, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership. Sasha A. Anderson, Bachelor of Science, Human Resources and Organizational Leadership, summa cum laude. Gregory D. Anderson, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Sadia Angel, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, cum laude. Immaculata C. Anozi, Bachelor of Science, Healthcare Management. Erica Anton, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, summa cum laude. Brianna C. Appel, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Evans Apaya, Bachelor of Science, Supply Chain and Logistics Management, summa cum laude. Uwabgo W. Asamoda, Bachelor of Science, Computer Science. Larry A. Atherton, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Christina Austin, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Yanara Aviles, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, cum laude. Wanija Awate, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Ariel Bachelor, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Carissa A. Bailey, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership. Nicole E. Bakken, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Jessica M. Baldera, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership. Sharon Ballard, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, magna cum laude. Sean Balls, Bachelor of Science, Healthcare Management, summa cum laude. Christopher Banda, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, cum laude. Carol Bandelaria, Bachelor of Science, Human Resources and Organizational Leadership. Lori Barden, Bachelor of Science, Human Services, summa cum laude. Jonathan Barreca, Bachelor of Science, Information Technology Management. Jamie L. Bartizo, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Kayan Bauchman, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Taylor C. Becksmith, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Tasha Bell, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Dominique Bennett, Bachelor of Science, Healthcare Management. Kelsey Berberich, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Matthew Bernal, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Stacy Bertrand McIntosh, Bachelor of Science, Human Services, summa cum laude. Kaylee Bianchi, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, cum laude. Colin W. Barron, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, magna cum laude. Kristen G. Bischoff, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Jordan Bitter, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Robin L. Blaisdell, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, summa cum laude. Lindsay J. Bly, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Mark E. Gomez, Bachelor of Science, Computer Science, summa cum laude. Lisa Bonds, Bachelor of Science, Accounting, summa cum laude. Sonia N. Wazir, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, magna cum laude. Daniel Boydston, Bachelor of Science, Cybersecurity, summa cum laude. Ingrid A. Bozeman, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, cum laude. Latoya Brady, Bachelor of Science, Healthcare Management, summa cum laude. Rebecca Brazic Flores, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Brittany Bridges, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership. Devonna N. Britton, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership. Amy Britton, Bachelor of Science, Healthcare Management. Jennifer Brooks, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership. Sydney S. Brown, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Cody Brownlee, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Carrie Bruger, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Natasha Burke, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, summa cum laude. Heather K. Burke, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, cum laude. Brandy Burns, Bachelor of Science, Business Management. Amy Bush, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, summa cum laude. Jordan A. Button, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, cum laude. Barbara Bailicki, Bachelor of Science, Healthcare Management, summa cum laude. Cassidy Carpenter, Bachelor of Science, Human Services. Katrina J. Carroll, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, cum laude. Ronnie L. Carter, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Katria Kosanova Alesiano, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Cassandra I. Castaneda, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education. Ricardo Catalan Ramirez, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Regina Cowley, Bachelor of Science, Business Management. Valerie O. Shelifon, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Bethany Chase, Bachelor of Science, Healthcare Management, summa cum laude. J.L. J. Christensen, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Olivia Cristiano, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Vanessa K. Chu, Bachelor of Science, Computer Science. Nayabwa C. Shu, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. William L. Clapham, Bachelor of Science, Computer Science. William L. Clapham, Bachelor of Science, Data Analytics, summa cum laude. Courtney K. Clark, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, summa cum laude. Alexia Clark, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Tony M. Klisch, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Michelle Clothier, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, cum laude. Melissa Castano, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Temple Cook, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, summa cum laude. Jill A. Cook, Bachelor of Science, Business Management, magna cum laude. Eric D. Cook, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Samantha Kuntz, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership. Ashley M. Cooper, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, summa cum laude. Darcy N. Corkle, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. J.D. Court, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Stephen Cowger, Bachelor of Science, Marketing, cum laude. Cassandra Cox, Bachelor of Science, Computer Science, cum laude. Alicia Cox, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, summa cum laude. Brianna Craig, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Jennifer Cruz, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, magna cum laude. Betsy Cunane, Bachelor of Science, Business Management, magna cum laude. Joseph Curran, Bachelor of Science, Computer Science. Mercedes Damien, Bachelor of Science, Computer Science. Katrina Darling, Bachelor of Science, Health Information Management, cum laude. Alana Davis, Bachelor of Science, Graphic Design, summa cum laude. Shanita Davis, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, summa cum laude. Farheed Bean, Bachelor of Science, Computer Science, summa cum laude. Alicia Denard, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Helen DiCardo, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Sarah Duravalu, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, cum laude. Kagi N. DeHital, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, summa cum laude. Dawn N. DeMartino, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Mark Dippold, Bachelor of Science, Data Analytics, summa cum laude. Stephanie Doherty, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership. Angela Dubeck, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Gloria Dowdell, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, cum laude. Shania Duckett, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership. Jane Dugan, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, magna cum laude. Akinia Dupree, Bachelor of Science, Health and Wellness. Amanda S. DeRugi, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Alexis C. DeRugi, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Alexandra Dwyer, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Stephanie Easley, Bachelor of Science, Business Management, summa cum laude. Catherine A. Eblin, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Jessica Edmondson, Bachelor of Science, Human Services, summa cum laude. Cheryl Edwards, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, cum laude. Jesse Ellert, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Shamika Ellis, Bachelor of Science, Human Services, cum laude. Michelle D. Ellis, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Desiree L. Erickson, Bachelor of Science, Human Services, cum laude. Taylor J. Aaron, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, cum laude. Casey Evantich, Bachelor of Science, Computer Science, summa cum laude. Jonathan Evans, Bachelor of Science, Graphic Design. Thomas Louise Pierre Eve, Bachelor of Science, Health Information Management. Rodelia Factora, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Olabasi Fafori, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Jennifer Fairfield, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership. Cynthia M. Feligi, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Ernestine Ferguson, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Noeli Fernandez, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, cum laude. Gabriela K. Fernandez, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Crystal Fierro, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Stephanie S. Figueroa, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Nicole Finley, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Ashley Flood, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership. Monique Flowers, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership. Stacy C. Ford, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, cum laude. Austin Foster, Bachelor of Science, Computer Science. Shelby S. Frank, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Tracy Franklin, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Sarah Fruward, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Hans Fritz, Bachelor of Science, Marketing. Anthony Fuentes, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Annie Fuller, Bachelor of Science, Healthcare Management, summa cum laude. Christine Foltz, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Leah L. Gabrielson, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, cum laude. Samantha N. Garcia, Bachelor of Science, Healthcare Management, magna cum laude. Clara Garrett, Bachelor of Science, Healthcare Management. Amy Gazelhart, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Jennifer L. Gurgin, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, magna cum laude. Tanya L. Guilford, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership. Stephanie Goldberg Dugan, Bachelor of Science, Business Management, magna cum laude. Julie A. Goldie, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Paige Goldman, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Annie Gonzalez, Bachelor of Science, Healthcare Management. Shanna R. Goodwin, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, cum laude. Jamie N. Gore, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Raquette Grandstrand, Bachelor of Science, Business Management, summa cum laude. Kanisha Griswold, Bachelor of Science, Human Services. Marissa Gruber, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership. Michelle Gazinski, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, cum laude. Stacy Haffer, Bachelor of Science, Business Management, summa cum laude. Tiffany M. Hafer, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Nicole Hagel, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Judy N. Hamburg, Bachelor of Science, Criminal Justice. Shannon Hammett, Bachelor of Science, Health Information Management. Rebecca L. Hammond, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, summa cum laude. Terry Handy, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Bailey Hanson, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, magna cum laude. Scott Hansen, Bachelor of Science, Supply Chain and Logistics Management, summa cum laude. Sean Harrington, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Melissa Harris, Bachelor of Science, Human Resources and Organizational Leadership, magna cum laude. Naomi A. Harris, Bachelor of Science, Human Services, summa cum laude. Joshua Harrison, Bachelor of Science, Data Analytics, summa cum laude. Allison Harwood, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Aaron Haskamp, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Tataniqua Hurd, Bachelor of Science, Health Services, summa cum laude. Caitlin Heath, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Erica L. Helling, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Jennifer Hendricks, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Renee B. Hennis, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Aracelis Hernandez, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, summa cum laude. Russell Hicks, Bachelor of Science, Cyber Security. Maurice Hill, Bachelor of Science, Business Management. Haley Hill, Bachelor of Science, Human Services. Jessica R. Heine, Bachelor of Science, Business Management. Corey Hinton, Bachelor of Science, Criminal Justice, summa cum laude. Kelly Heiss, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Abigail Hoffbauer, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Janae Hoffner, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, cum laude. Latrina Hogan, Bachelor of Science, Human Services. Carla Holicky, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, cum laude. Gerald R. Hollinzer, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Aubrey Hollister, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership. April Haug, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Shannon L. House, Bachelor of Science, Human Services, summa cum laude. Rachel Harubi, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Melissa R. Hubley, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, summa cum laude. Barbara Hudgens, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, magna cum laude. Tracy Hughes, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership. April Hudo, Bachelor of Science, Healthcare Management, summa cum laude. April Ide, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Miriam R. Infanzin, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Margarita A. Inzina, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Elisa A. Hisaki, Bachelor of Science, Computer Science. Joshua J. Jackson Jr., Bachelor of Science, Business Management. Emily A. Jackson, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, cum laude. Shelley Jacobetti Weeks, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Marlena Jakubiak, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, cum laude. Robert D. Jamerson, Bachelor of Science, Computer Science, cum laude. Danielle Jennings, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, summa cum laude. Samantha Jernigan, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Mark A. Jewis Jr., Bachelor of Science, Business Management. Grace Gia, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Melanie Jimenez, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Ruth Y. Johnson, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Robert Johnson, Bachelor of Science, Computer Science, summa cum laude. Valerie Johnson, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, summa cum laude. Sandra Johnson, Bachelor of Science, Healthcare Management. Holly Johnson, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Lindsay Johnson, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, magna cum laude. Joshua O. Johnson, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Morgan M. Johnson, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, cum laude. Renee Johnson, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Shania Jones, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, summa cum laude. Jessica Jones, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Latika Jones Camacho, Bachelor of Science, Healthcare Management, summa cum laude. Christina M. Joy, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Bella Julio, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Sunzia Kabir, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, magna cum laude. Likeness Kafunzio, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Tatiana Karnacheva, Bachelor of Science, Healthcare Management, summa cum laude. Allison M. Kelly, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership. Andrea Kelly, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Michelle A. Kennedy, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Micah Kern, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, summa cum laude. Jacob Kern, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Shanna C. Kahn, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Kristen Kosavarian, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Heather Kilchin, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, cum laude. Taylor D. King, Bachelor of Science, Graphic Design. Wanda Kinsey, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Rissa Kisum, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Kylie Kloss, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Megan Klinkenhammer, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, cum laude. Amy Coe, Bachelor of Science Nursing, summa cum laude. Karla Karlia B. Koliboyan, Bachelor of Science, Human Resources and Organizational Leadership, cum laude. Amber R. Konakowicz, Bachelor of Science Nursing, summa cum laude. Vitali Kobidi, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Christina Kozlowski, Bachelor of Science, Accounting. Elizabeth A. Kraft, Bachelor of Science Nursing, summa cum laude. Courtney Craig, Bachelor of Science, Graphic Design. Teal C. Kraus, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Tammy Crean, Bachelor of Science Nursing, summa cum laude. Kayla M. Croyer, Bachelor of Science Nursing, summa cum laude. Julie D. Kruger, Bachelor of Science Nursing, summa cum laude. Misty M. Krug, Bachelor of Science Nursing, cum laude. Kyla Kufal, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Samantha Kwasniewicz, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership. Stephanie L. Lamonti, Bachelor of Science, Business Management, summa cum laude. Kyla Ladwig, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Denise Lagoginu, Bachelor of Science, Health Information Management. Jennifer Lambert, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Katrina Land, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership. Kaylee E. Lane, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership. Amy J. Larson-Buck, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, cum laude. Catherine Katina Latham, Bachelor of Science, Accounting, summa cum laude. Valentina LaValle, Bachelor of Science, Accounting. Jessica Lee, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, cum laude. Rhonda Lee, Bachelor of Science, Health and Wellness. Katie Lilly, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Sam D. Limbaugh, Bachelor of Science Nursing, magna cum laude. Tyra D. Lloyd, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, summa cum laude. Abby Locke, Bachelor of Science Nursing, summa cum laude. Jennifer Logdano, Bachelor of Science, Human Services, summa cum laude. Bernadette E. Lapuzzo, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership. Angela Lothamer, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Brianna M. Lowe, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Jessica D. Lucas, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, cum laude. Anthony Madowdy, Bachelor of Science, Healthcare Management, cum laude. Miranda J. Magnuson, Bachelor of Science, Business Management, cum laude. Jennifer Malou, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Lydia Malika, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, cum laude. Mara K. Mamu, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, magna cum laude. Jennifer A. Maines, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, cum laude. Denise Mangro, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership. Sabrina Manis, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Rose Marcial, Bachelor of Science, Healthcare Management. Kanisha Marcus, Bachelor of Science, Healthcare Management. Renee Marks, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Edgar M. Martinez, Bachelor of Science, Criminal Justice, summa cum laude. Kristen Martinson, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Kristen Massman, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Claire Mathena, Bachelor of Science, Health and Wellness. Kayla Mathers, Bachelor of Science Nursing, cum laude. Caitlin Matthews, Bachelor of Science Nursing, cum laude. Caitlin M. Matthey, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Ruby J. Matheswase, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership. Nathan S. Matson, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Ann Matter, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Rachel Matthews, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. David McCormick, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Jennifer McKenna, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Lindsay A. McMahon, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Chelsea E. McPherson, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Arlene L. McQuality, Bachelor of Science, Human Services, summa cum laude. John A. Metaggart, Bachelor of Science, Data Analytics. Lisbon Medrano, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Tresha Melquist, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Catalina Oliva Mendoza Mirandas, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, cum laude. Thana Mesidor, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Michael E. Molesky, Bachelor of Science, Data Analytics, summa cum laude. Keela M. Milan, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership. Anthony Miller, Bachelor of Science, Computer Science. Danielle Miller, Bachelor of Science, Business Management. Christy Miller, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, cum laude. Jacqueline Miller, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Lauren Mingari, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Maritza Nixon, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership. Jennifer McGeer, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Karima G. Mohammed, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Delene Moyes, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Katie R. Momosia, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, summa cum laude. Christian Montgomery, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership. Cynthia Montgomery, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, magna cum laude. Megan D. Montoya, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Carlos Moreno Espino, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Shiara A. Marfal, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Wendy Morris, Bachelor of Science, Health Information Management. Ashley Morris, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Mackenzie Mullis, Bachelor of Science, Healthcare Management, cum laude. Kayleen Mullock, Bachelor of Science, Graphic Design, summa cum laude. Lauren Moran, Bachelor of Science, Human Services and Organizational Leadership. Ryan T. Murphy, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Jessica A. Murphy, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Vicky Musser, Bachelor of Science, Human Services. Jenna Neal, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Amber Nielsen, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, cum laude. Kathy Nelson, Bachelor of Science, Human Services. Melissa Nelson, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Taryn N. Nelson, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Christina M. Nesman, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Fanu Iguacia Brunhilda, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Melissa Nichols, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Courtney M. Meader, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Sering Nguyen, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Sydney Noble, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, cum laude. Tanya Noth, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Michelle Nutt, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, cum laude. Benjamin O. Nikandi, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Avilia Obeso, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum cum laude. Mary O'Brien, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Ifeanyi Ofugubu, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Edna Ogega, Bachelor of Science Nursing, summa cum laude. Jacqueline F. Olepa, Bachelor of Science, Business Management, cum laude. Yesenia Olameda, Bachelor of Science, Human Services, summa cum laude. Catherine A. Olson, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Michaela Olson, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Juliet M. Umbogo, Bachelor of Science of Nursing. Jennifer K. Unserigo, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Katrina M. Opp, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Cherie Orange, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, summa cum laude. Rebecca Ormond, Bachelor of Science, Health Information Management, summa cum laude. Jennifer Ortiz, Bachelor of Science, Accounting. Camille Osorio, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Fatma Uzdagan, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, cum laude. Addie J. Park, Bachelor of Science, Accounting. Amelia Parker, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, summa cum laude. Lucretia S. Parker, Bachelor of Science, Human Services. Jasmine Parker, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Amy Parrish, Bachelor of Science, Business Management. Myrna E. Parsons, Bachelor of Science, Business Management, summa cum laude. Brianna Patterson, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership. Ashley D. Peduzzi, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership. Wendy Pellegrin, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Kim Penn, Bachelor of Science, Human Services, summa cum laude. Rebecca Perillo, Bachelor of Science, Human Resources and Organizational Leadership. Kiana Peterson, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership. Christy Peterson, Bachelor of Science Nursing, summa cum laude. Emily Peterson, Bachelor of Science Nursing, summa cum laude. Laura Phillips, Bachelor of Science Accounting, cum laude. Michaela L. Pierce, Bachelor of Science, Computer Science, cum laude. Melissa Pilkington, Bachelor of Science Nursing, summa cum laude. Amy Pinkston, Bachelor of Science, Human Resources and Organizational Leadership, summa cum laude. Paula N. Plank, Bachelor of Science Nursing, summa cum laude. Tara Popping, Bachelor of Science Nursing, cum laude. Samantha R. Polafrani, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership. Cordesia Pope, Bachelor of Science, Human Services. Najla Posey Grimes, Bachelor of Science, Healthcare Management, magna cum laude. Cassandra L. Power, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Kaylee J. Prabula, Bachelor of Science Nursing, summa cum laude. Alexandria D. Proctor, Bachelor of Science, Graphic Design. Alan Pride, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Isabel Prisbill, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Carlo Puzzoteri, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Kimberly D. Putz, Bachelor of Science Nursing, summa cum laude. Carla L. Quevedo, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Kelly L. Robinhorst, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership. Jennifer R. Radmaker, Bachelor of Science Nursing, summa cum laude. Nicole L. Ralph, Bachelor of Science, Business Management, cum laude. Jessica Ramos, Bachelor of Science, Accounting. Sharia Ramos, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Anna Rollerson, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Lindsay C. Remes, Bachelor of Science, Information Technology Management. Heather Rebro, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Diane E. Reed, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Amber M. Reeves, Bachelor of Science, Health Information Management, summa cum laude. Whitney J. Rejnier, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Shayna Raguste, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Tara A. Rahak, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Amy J. Reiner, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Lindsay M. Ranke, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Ariel Rhodes, Bachelor of Science, Healthcare Management, summa cum laude. Stephanie M. Rhodes, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, cum laude. Jennifer Richard, Bachelor of Science, Criminal Justice, summa cum laude. Christina S. Ricker, Bachelor of Science, Supply Chain and Logistics Management. Ann Reichen, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, cum laude. Akita Roberson, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership. Tamula Roberts, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, cum laude. Kimberly Roberts, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Cassandra Robinson, Bachelor of Science, Human Services. Peggy Rodriguez, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership. Sarah C. Rodriguez, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, cum laude. Linnea Rodriguez, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Tatiana Rodriguez, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, cum laude. Rose Rogero, Bachelor of Science, Health and Wellness. Marissa L. Romer, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Veronica T. Romero, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Angel Rosales, Bachelor of Science, Human Resources and Organizational Leadership, summa cum laude. Loretta Roselle Tamayo, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Martha Ross, Bachelor of Science, Health Information Management. William Rowe, Bachelor of Science, Computer Science. Connie M. Ruff, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, magna cum laude. Scotty M. Russian, Bachelor of Science, Human Services, summa cum laude. Brianna Rutherford, Bachelor of Science, Human Resources and Organizational Leadership. Jennifer M. Salcedo, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Valentine Samwell, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Angel E. Sanchez, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Dawn Sawyer, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Jennifer L. Shuffle, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Sheena A. Schmitz, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Deborah L. Schneider, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Jennifer Schoeneke, Bachelor of Science, Data Analytics, summa cum laude. Tiffany A. Scholes, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Christy D. Scott, Bachelor of Science, Human Services, summa cum laude. Amy R. Seaman, Bachelor of Science, Human Resources and Organizational Leadership, summa cum laude. Felisa Seidel, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Arbrim Siju, Bachelor of Science Nursing, magna cum laude. Sarah Sell, Bachelor of Science Nursing. Amanda Sensenig, Bachelor of Science Nursing, summa cum laude. Lashandra K. Shaw, Bachelor of Science Human Resources and Organizational Leadership. Jessica L. Shelton, Bachelor of Science Human Services, summa cum laude. Kylie Schimmel, Bachelor of Science Nursing. Justice A. Slade, Bachelor of Science Business Management. Stephanie D. Slade, Bachelor of Science Health Information Management. Rebecca Slade, Bachelor of Science Nursing, summa cum laude. Amanda Sly, Bachelor of Science Nursing. Yulia Smirnova, Bachelor of Science Nursing, summa cum laude. Miriam K. Smith, Bachelor of Science Nursing. Takira Snell Thomas, Bachelor of Science Early Childhood Education. Heather Snyder, Bachelor of Science Healthcare Management, summa cum laude. Courtney A. Soderlund, Bachelor of Science Nursing, magna cum laude. April Solt, Bachelor of Science Nursing, cum laude. Katie E. Sonic, Bachelor of Science Nursing. Benjamin Springer, Bachelor of Science Nursing, summa cum laude. Jacqueline M. Spriggs, Bachelor of Science Nursing, summa cum laude. Jessica M. Stady, Bachelor of Science Nursing, summa cum laude. Courtney Stang, Bachelor of Science Nursing, summa cum laude. Lauren Stark, Bachelor of Science Nursing, summa cum laude. Justine A. Stenberg, Bachelor of Science Nursing, summa cum laude. Deborah K. Stolt, Bachelor of Science Nursing. Melissa Strophus, Bachelor of Science Nursing, summa cum laude. Dara S. Stroudy, Bachelor of Science Early Childhood Education Leadership, summa cum laude. Kelly Steika, Bachelor of Science Supply Chain and Logistics Management. Heather J. Summers, Bachelor of Science Human Resources and Organizational Leadership, summa cum laude. Melinda E. Schwarzenschruber, Bachelor of Science Nursing. Sharon E. Simons, Bachelor of Science Nursing, summa cum laude. Shannon Tabbert, Bachelor of Science Nursing, magna cum laude. Immaculate M. Temening, Bachelor of Science Nursing. Tanisha N. Taylor, Bachelor of Science Early Childhood Education Leadership. Deanna D. Taylor, Bachelor of Science Nursing, summa cum laude. Sean Thao, Bachelor of Science Nursing. Nicole Theising, Bachelor of Science Business Management, cum laude. Camille Thompson, Bachelor of Science Information Technology Management, cum laude. Ashley Tiffany, Bachelor of Science Early Childhood Education Leadership, summa cum laude. Yolanda Timmons, Bachelor of Science Early Childhood Education Leadership. Brittany Torres, Bachelor of Science Nursing, cum laude. James B. Travers II, Bachelor of Science Human Resources and Organizational Leadership, summa cum laude. Michelle Travis, Bachelor of Science Early Childhood Education Leadership. Kaylee Trojan, Bachelor of Science Nursing. Mary Twami, Bachelor of Science Early Childhood Education Leadership. David Udofia, Bachelor of Science Computer Science. Peter C. Valdez, Bachelor of Science Computer Science, cum laude. Mary Beth Valley, Bachelor of Science Early Childhood Education Leadership, summa cum laude. Retha L. Wanakan, Bachelor of Science Nursing, magna cum laude. Lillian M. Benkunis, Bachelor of Science, Computer Science. J. Barnett, Bachelor of Science, Business Management, magna cum laude. Paige R. Balenga, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Russell Velarde, Bachelor of Science, Business Management. Andrew D. Villeneuve, Bachelor of Science, Human Resources and Organizational Leadership, summa cum laude. Gina M. Bevello, Bachelor of Science, Human Services, summa cum laude. Cassidy Bottom, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Noah Balling, Bachelor of Science, Accounting. Leanne L. Von Bacher, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Diana M. Vorobayev, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Brianna Voss, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, magna cum laude. Alyssa J. Wade, Bachelor of Science, Finance. Monique Wallace, Bachelor of Science, Human Resources and Organizational Leadership. Carrie Ann Walters, Bachelor of Science, Health Information Management. Danielle Walton, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership. Ree A. Weckman, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, cum laude. Morgan K. Weiss, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Jasmine J. Weiss, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Elizabeth S. Weisenzel, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, summa cum laude. Bettina White, Bachelor of Science, Criminal Justice, cum laude. Sarah White, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Shatasia Williams, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, cum laude. Amanda J. Williamson, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Maria J. Willier, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Dunkenya Willis, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, magna cum laude. Dawn Winters, Bachelor of Science, Business Management. Emily Wittenbach, Bachelor of Science, Human Resources and Organizational Leadership, summa cum laude. Alexandra T. Wood, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Justin Wood, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Sandra J. Wood McMillan, Bachelor of Science, Business Management, summa cum laude. Michelle Wright, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership. Samantha Wright, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, summa cum laude. Amber Wubbin, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Jessica E. Wasaki, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership. Marilyn Yang, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Asmara Yohannes, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Katie Young, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, cum laude. Aaron B. Young, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Linda Yazari, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership. Catherine D. Zellner-Perron, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude.
Tina J. Anderson, Master of Science, Graduate Nursing with distinction. Chantel L. Bracey, Master of Science, Graduate Nursing with distinction. Brandy J. Bressler, Master of Science, Graduate Human Resource Management. Michelle M. Church, Master of Science, Graduate Nursing. Sarah M. Kuhn, Master of Science, Graduate Nursing. Tony L. Dahlmeyer, Master of Science, Graduate Nursing, with distinction. Fatu Davies Grant, Master of Science, Graduate Human Resource Management. Danielle N. Diaz, Master of Science, Graduate Human Resource Management. Cynthia M. Dionysius, Master of Science, Graduate Nursing, with distinction. Michelle Dupree, Master of Science, Graduate Human Resource Management. Ifoma Ede, Master of Science, Graduate Healthcare Administration. Stephanie Erickson, Master of Science, Graduate Nursing, with distinction. Lisa M. Ertman, Master of Science, Graduate Nursing, with distinction. Carlo Francois, Master of Science, Graduate Human Resource Management. Ashley L. Freeman, Master of Science, Graduate Nursing, with distinction. Elizabeth J. Bustamante, Master of Science, Graduate Human Resource Management. Miranda M. Haberger, Master of Science, Graduate Nursing. Shantia Hairston, Master of Science, Graduate Healthcare Administration. Sarah R. Hensel, Master of Science, Graduate Healthcare Administration. Jay Hicks, Master of Science, Graduate Healthcare Administration. Stephanie D. Hobson, Master of Science, Graduate Nursing. Sydney Yonk, Master of Science, Graduate Nursing. Jocelyn Johnson, Master of Science, Graduate Nursing, with distinction. Amber L. Jude, Master of Science, Graduate Healthcare Administration. Barbara Knudsen, Master of Science, Graduate Nursing, with distinction. Susan Conchella, Master of Science, Graduate Nursing, with distinction. Brittany Lawton, Master of Science, Graduate Nursing. Amy Lill, Master of Science, Graduate Human Resource Management. Christina M. Lowe, Master of Science, Graduate Healthcare Administration. Amy M. Magro, Master of Science, Graduate Healthcare Administration. Christina M. Marsalic, Master of Science, Graduate Nursing. Whitney Miller, Master of Science, Graduate Nursing. Caitlin R. Paget, Master of Science, Graduate Healthcare Administration. Brianne N. Pitts, Master of Science, Graduate Nursing. Amber Rausch, Master of Science, Graduate Human Resource Management. Charlotte Robinson, Master of Science, Graduate Nursing. Caitlin Scanlon, Master of Science, Graduate Human Resource Management. Jamie Sessions, Master of Science, Graduate Nursing. Rhiannon M. Steger, Master of Science, Graduate Human Resource Management. Maria Eliana Torres, Master of Science, Graduate Nursing, with distinction. Joanne Wendt, Master of Science, Graduate Healthcare Administration.
And now, the moment has arrived. Graduates, please stand for the conferring of your degree.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Rasmussen College, I hereby confer upon you the degree to which you have qualified, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining hereto. Undergraduates, it is now time to move your tassel from the right side of your cap to the left. Each and every one of you should be very proud of your achievements. We wish you all much success in life and rewarding careers. On behalf of the entire Rasmussen College community, congratulations to all.